You are listening to 5 new pedals from the Analog Custom Shop range from Akai. We have 4 time-based effects and a compressor. And a chorus as well, so time and pitch based. I'm today using a Gretsch G5 120 as my demonstration guitar, and I've got an Egnater Rebel 20 on quite a clean setting, a fairly flat EQ for the Egnater as well, and a Dragoon 2x12 cab with Celestion the vintage 30 speakers inside. This is the SE Electronics Voodoo VR1 ribbon microphone as well. So I'm going to play a range of things for you, show you how these all sound, show you how to use them. My name is Richard Beach. I'm from sonicstate.com/amped, Sonic State's guitar channel. And yeah, let's get on with the review. Okay, so here the pedals are on my pedal board, which have been stripped out to accommodate all of these. This is 5 of the range. We've got 10 in the office for review. So we'll show you the distortion ones separately. Today we're just focusing on these 5 pedals. So let's start off with something simple, the compressor. Here's what it sounds like without the compressor, first of all. So I've set this up just to give me a little bit more level and even out my tone. There's quite a bit of attack on this as well. You can use it to give you loads of sustain. So this guitar's got quite a bit of sustain anyway, just because it's a hollow body guitar. But if I hold that down, when the note starts to die, it's still going on the compressor quite a lot. So where any good compressor really comes into its own is on a distorted sound. So you might want to use this just to even out your power chord chugs, make it sound like you're a little bit less all over the shop dynamically when you're playing live, which is pretty useful for players like me sometimes. So I've just got this with the gain whacked up high, the master down low. This is the dry signal. It's a bit fuzzy, and here we go with the compressed signal. Sounds pretty good, I think. Okay, so now we're going to take a look at the phase shifter from Akai. The first thing to point out is that the depth is on a switching system here. So at the moment we've got it set to 90 degrees with a rate set about 3/4 of the way up at 3 o'clock. So basically you don't have the depth on a knob, which means that you can't have everything in between. You can only have 4 set parameters there. Here's what the clean signal sounds like. And then the wet signal sounds like this. I'm going to show you what 360 sounds like. And I'll keep the rate the same so you just know what's going on there. So it sounds really cool. It breathes really nicely actually. It has a nice quality to the tone. It's a good job because there's not actually a lot you can change on this, so if it had a crappy tone then you'd kind of be stuck with it. Okay, so next we have the Flanger, and basically we've got 4 settings on the front of this. We've got rate, depth, manual and resonance. Yeah, we've got this going into the effects loop, which is obviously what you want when you've got a distorted tone like this. Make it sound like this. That sounds really cool. So I'm just going to highlight the difference between the 2 tones and then give you a kind of full out flanger tone. So here we go. It's got a really nice quality to it actually, and unlike the compressor and the phase shifter, there's actually quite a bit you can do with this. So what we're going to do now is go for a bit of a cleaner sound. Right, so clean sound on the amp, bridge pickup on the guitar, dry signal, wet signal. So you really get that, I say it all the time when I talk about flanger pedals, but it sounds like Prince Purple Rain, basically. And why wouldn't you want it to sound like that? Okay, we're speeding through now onto the chorus. We've got tone, spread, and speed. We've got the fast and slow rate switch on there, which gives you a bit more activity on the speed dial, which is good. I'm gonna start off with a nice laid back, slow chorus sound for those jazz cats out there. And I've obviously got to try and play some jazz because I've got the right guitar for it. Yeah, basically, this is an issue. So that's the stomp switch there. I'm assuming they'll use the same stomp parts for every single pedal, and we don't have that with the other pedals, so maybe this is just a faulty part there. So here we go. Here's my dry signal. And then, ooh, there's my wet signal. So for any Wes Montgomery fans out there, that was my attempt at While We're Young, and yeah, let's make it a little bit more wacky now with a honky tonk style sound. Cool. I like that, it's got character. Right, I've got my legs crossed now, so this is getting serious. It's delay time, probably my favourite out of the time-based effects, and a fairly simple analog delay here. And actually, one thing I need to show you is this. I don't know if you can spot any similarities there, but this is the Bayang Tone Fancier series, the delay, and basically this is pretty much exactly the same thing. Akai have rehoused the Bayang in a very similar pedal. Tested both of these earlier and they sound almost identical. The price is about the same. The Bayang you have to import from China. I did for about £45, and the Akai pedals are about £55 to £60 online, so there's not a massive price difference. And I just thought I should actually bring that to your attention first. We've got mix, repeat, and time. Fairly simple analog delay pedal with a time switch there. Let's show you what it can do.
It's got a nice analog sort of fizzle out, hasn't it?
Yeah, the way it fizzles out is nice. I can actually demonstrate that on a Hendrix chord. It sort of sounds like it's like it's actually organically dying at the end. So you can do all that kind of stuff with it, which is really cool doing when you can do it live in the middle of what is supposed to be a solo. Okay, so in conclusion, first of all, I want to put it out there that these are about, I think, £55 to £60. So they're in the price range of the Boss pedals and the Marshall pedals. So let's talk about them in terms of that context. They're not high-end boutique pedals like we sometimes deal with. We'll put the recommended retail price on the bottom of your screen now so you know exactly what that price is. In terms of how they stand up against the Boss and the Marshall pedals, the modulation and time-based ones, I think they actually fare quite well. The sounds of the pedals, they all have a nice sonic quality to them. They're all very usable. None of them are offensive, and they do basically what you expect them to do. The gem, for me, the jewel in the crown, is the compressor, because I think it just adds a really nice texture to the sound, as well as doing a good job of being a compressor. So I like that one particularly. the whole Bayang Akai thing, you can make your own mind up about that, but the Bayang pedals aren't massively cheaper. The only thing is they've been around for a while, so you might have already been able to get your hands on some of these effects anyway. I just have one kind of one gripe with the flanger, basically. If you can see the flanger is off, so the LED isn't on right there. And then I go from standby to live on my Egnator, and just give you a bit of signal on my guitar. You can hear that that is quite evidently sending through a flange signal there.
It is cranked though, isn't it?
It is quite cranked, but it's probably about the volume I'd have it in a live environment. So you imagine that being picked up by an amp. It's not ideal, and it's obviously not bypassing the circuitry of the pedal when it's not on at that point. So I don't know what's going on there. You'd expect something, with analog custom shop written on the front of it, maybe not to do that, but that might be just one particular problem with this actual pedal. You never know when it comes to analog stuff, because that can always be a factor, and that can always happen, in which case you send it back to Akai and they send you one that doesn't do that, which is probably the beauty of getting it from Akai rather than getting it shipped in from China. So there we go, unless you're in China, of course, in which case you might want to go for buying. Thank you very much for watching the review, guys. Hopefully it helped you make an informed decision about these pedals. You can get more reviews, news, features, interviews, all that kind of stuff from us at sonicstate.com/amped. That's our guitar channel, and obviously more music tech news at sonicstate.com. And we are also on facebook.com/sonicamped. Please give us some love there, because we need to catch up with our Twitter, which has 2,000 followers now, which is twitter.com/sonicamped. So basically at sonicamped.